What's going on, y'all? We are back. It is Double M Road to WrestleMania edition. We are a couple of days away from WrestleMania going Hollywood, which takes place this coming Saturday and Sunday, April 1st and 2nd, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm joined by some great guests here on Double M. My guy, the executive producer, Cool Sam, is in the building. And we are also joined by two guys that I've been looking forward to having on the show for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And we finally made it happen, not through any type of video, not through nothing else. We're here sitting together in person. I want to introduce my guy, Jet, right here. What's going on, Jet?
What's up? Glad to be here. Nice to be in person. I don't remember the last time I was around other people doing a show.
Hey, man, well,
It's
we're
nice.
bringing it back. Make magic happen here on Double M.
Yes, sir.
Also joined by my brother, Dave, in the building. What's going on, Dave?
I'm glad to be here. First time podcast, first time doing anything like this, man. I'm excited, bro. Let's get it.
Hey, man, and I want to shout you two out because both of you guys, do your own thing on the side, podcast, and you're active in the public eye. They see you all the time and what you're doing, so definitely want to shout you guys out for everything you got going on as well. We're going to get to your Twitter handles and your YouTube and all of that, but it's WrestleMania season. So this is what we're here to talk about.
Let's
and
do
I can't
it.
wait to do this roundtable with my brothers to my left and to my right. So let me hit you guys off with the question that I know is the most talked about thing right now in wrestling, and especially WWE. What's your thoughts and feelings on the Bloodline storyline that's been running for about 2.5 years now? It's been going on for a while, and it's the hottest thing in sports entertainment, the hottest thing going in wrestling, and definitely the hottest thing in WWE. Sam, let me get to you first. How do you feel?
No.
Oh, you don't want to start it off, Sam?
No.
Let this guy go. I'm going to tell you one last time. Don't piss me off, Dave.
I'm gonna tell you
Don't
one
piss me
last
off.
time, Sam. I love
Go,
you, bro.
say what you got to say.
Let's swing it to
I
Dave then
love you
first.
too. Don't piss me off.
I'm glad I'm right in between you guys.
Hey,
That's
man.
good.
I
We're not
tell you.
catching any fire over here,
I tell you.
Jet. We chilling. Dave, then. We'll kick it to you, Dave.
Hey, man, listen. The Bloodline storyline is the best thing in wrestling
Good start.
in the last, just to be safe, in the last 20 years.
Okay.
Okay, and it rivals anything in the Attitude Era. It might even rival the rise and the birth of NWO.
There you go.
Maybe,
Wow.
maybe.
Come on. That's a
I
wild
don't want
statement.
no one upset,
Come
bro.
on.
But it deserves to be in a discussion
There you go.
of the NWO birthing, bro. Because what they've done in the last 2.5 years, first of all, has resurrected anybody's love for WWE.
Ah.
I mean, we were chatting about it a little while ago. A lot of us started being like, WWE, push off to the side. What's going on over there, Tony? Let me check out what you're doing in AEW real quick. A lot of us are doing that. But then Roman was like, no, you guys belong to me. Come back over to WWE.
Ah.
And so
Bars.
I didn't mean to rhyme like that, bro. That-
Bars, okay.
But but that's what happened, bro. And bro, it is amazing. As much as I want to see Roman drop the belts, because it's about damn time.
You need to watch your mouth.
As much as I want to see that happen, bro, man, I gotta give them the props, bro. That is an amazing storyline, amazing character building, amazing. Just it's I don't know what else I can say, bro. I don't even know what else y'all can say. I
Hey,
think I said
man.
it all.
You definitely shouted them out, and I agree with a lot of things you said. Jet, how you feeling? Bloodline.
I mean, it's obviously it's the most compelling thing, on TV. I saw Michael Cole said it should win an Emmy. You could make certainly a strong case. What I like about it too is that it's highlighted really good in-ring work too, not just promo stuff. Like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are two of the best just overall wrestlers in the company.
Sure.
And so it's kind of giving them a chance to shine. They were getting not fully buried and stuff like that, but Sami Zayn was working with Johnny Knoxville this time last year.
That is true. I
Kevin
remember.
Owens got to do the main event with Stone Cold, but he was forgotten about for a couple of weeks or months. He just wasn't on TV. And
Yeah, that dumb storyline with
Elias's brother, so just wasting the talent. So I think it's great that it's also brought really great wrestlers into the mix, and everything's made sense logically with the story. I think that's the criticism a lot of times with WWE is okay, this storyline doesn't make logical sense. But the way it's progressing, it does, and that they brought Solo into it, that makes a lot of sense.
That's my guy.
He needed help at Clash of the Castle, so he brings in his other cousin. who's this, badass, and the timing made perfect sense. Like Jimmy and Jay feeling like conflicted at times about Sammy, like that made total sense. So that's what you want, right? Is like logical storytelling, and it's also backed up by the fact that everybody involved is just a really good wrestler too. Because if you can't back it up in the ring, that really takes away from the story too.
Straight up. Sam,
Uh-huh.
did Dave piss you off or no?
No.
Okay.
Dave ain't pissed me off like I thought he would.
Not yet.
But it's because I warned him in the car on the way over here. So I'm glad he was able to heed my warning. As everybody knows, I take the bloodline very serious.
How are you feeling then?
He the ones
Very much so. Very much so.
throwing it up.
When it comes to the bloodline, I think wholeheartedly, without a shadow of a doubt, the bloodline saved the WWE from caving.
Whew.
That's
Caving.
That's how bad I think it was getting, right? Because, like Jet said, everything was so predictable, right? And all of us were starting to shy away from wrestling. And we're four of the biggest wrestling fans left on the planet Earth, right? So, like, it would take a lot for us to start to be like, there's other things I could do with my time other than investing, 5-6 hours a week in watching specific programming based off one thing, right? And then here comes Roman, right? Who, his stardom was coming into play. He was.
Were you in or out on him before this?
I was out.
You wasn't feeling Roman anymore?
I was out because he couldn't cut the promo. You know this business. You can't cut a promo. You're not gonna last long, right? You're gonna get buried
It was
eventually.
dead on the stick, bro. Dead on the stick.
Cena almost made Roman change careers.
I remember that specific Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it was bad.
I haven't seen many people get buried in a promo like that ever. Cena said, "Hey, son, it's called a promo." He told him what it's called.
You got to learn how to do this if you want to be good in this business.
He's a savage, though. In fairness, he's an absolute savage.
We're gonna get to him because he's done a lot on the mic that's made me go, "Hey, Bucko, I know this isn't real life, but in real life, you probably would have got your ass beat for doing what you did." But that's a story for another day. When Roman couldn't cut that promo, it was bad, and that's when I was like, "Okay, this guy can't carry the company." And we had no one else because we knew John was on his way out. Brock works part-time. Mm-hmm. Who's going to carry WWE? We didn't have anybody. Roman was supposed to be the next guy, and he couldn't do it until he came back from having cancer. Something during that layoff and pairing him with Paul Heyman turned that man into a whole different entity.
Yeah, that makes things so much easier pairing people with Paul Heyman, though, because it takes so much pressure off
does.
you. And you can really come into your own, everybody that's worked with Heyman gets the rub, right? Just for a little bit of time, because he's so good at talking. You're like, okay, I can develop this character more. I can focus more on my in-ring stuff, and that was huge. And also, I just don't think he was ever comfortable being a babyface.
Yeah, I think he's even said this a couple of times. And wrestlers usually say this. They're babyface, and sometimes they just don't feel like they get to show off their real personality and really give off to the fans how they really speak and how they really think. You kind of feel, we said this a little bit earlier off camera about another wrestler, can get a little robotic at times with how you're speaking and what you're saying. And like you said, I don't know what happened in between the time Roman was wrestling, then he took all that time off because he was in remission, and then COVID happened and he wanted to stay away because of COVID. But he came back, he paired with Paul Heyman, and then just things on the bloodline started taking off from there. But finish what you were saying, Sam. Go ahead.
So, and with Roman comes the entire bloodline story.
Yep.
Which I agree. I think it rivals any story arc the last 50 years. Because if you think about it, look at the lineage. The Inoue family, the Fatu family.
Yep.
That is wrestling in and of itself. Those branches, those extensions of that family are at the very foundation of what wrestling is today. And then what he did was he finally embraced it. The tribal chief, the head of the table.
Perfect storyline.
Bringing his uncles out.
Oh, that was big.
Oh, which pay-per-view was it? That wasn't the Hell in Cell.
That was after Clash of Champions when he
beat Jay.
Jay in the
Hell in Cell. Okay.
His father and his uncle came out.
People don't understand the relevance of that. Bringing your uncles out to let people know the family backs you.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
That
huge.
your uncles who paved the way for you are backing you and they're acknowledging you.
As the head of the
That
table.
acknowledgement thing, that's right here. That's at the top of the top.
I think that's why people so badly wanted The Rock to be the main event at WrestleMania, because it makes. I know we're going to talk all about Cody and stuff like that, but that makes the most logical sense, right? Because, like, for the longest time, since he came into WWE, The Rock's been the, de facto head of the table. He's the most famous member of that family.
Sure. Tell no lies there, Jet.
So it makes sense, right? But, like, obviously he's busy and, like, he's having movies bomb and, blocking people from having cameos and stuff like that. So he's a busy man, The Rock.
There was no lies told at all.
So it didn't work, but, like, you're right. That, like, especially in that culture, like, none of us are Samoan, but, like, it's a global community. We can understand.
Partially.
Are you?
By affiliation.
Okay. But like, that's a big thing, right? Is, like, family and respect in that family. Like, okay, I know about it because I've watched Young Rock, and, like, he's saying, like, how important that is to him. And, like, okay, that's not a documentary, but, like, again, the story makes a lot of logical sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with what the three of you just said in terms of how we believe it's definitely one of the best storylines we've seen WWE produce in the last 10, 20, 30 years, whatever you want to say. They've put together some great storytelling, like Jet said, and along with that comes great wrestling. Roman has had hell of a matches. Usos have had hell of matches. Mm-hmm. You bring in Solo Sikoa into the mix, and obviously he's still young in the game and getting his foot under him, but I'm a huge Solo fan. I think the future's bright for him, but
that's Umaga reincarnated.
I see it for sure, and I just think all in all, obviously I think they all have a hand in it. Roman has a say in how things unfold. Paul Heyman probably has a big say on how things unfold. Triple H, everybody who's working in creative, but whoever has continue to write and produce and put together the different segments that end off SmackDown, because they probably do crazy numbers in terms of who's watching. Even when they come over to Raw, they probably have a lot of eyes on them. Wherever the bloodline goes, wherever Roman Reigns goes, it's all eyes on him, all eyes on them. So, shout out to what they've done over the last 2.5 years. But go ahead.
I wanted to talk real quick about the in-ring work,
Yeah.
right? One thing that Roman has added onto his repertoire that I think is kind of unspoken or hasn't been talked about enough is his promo work in the middle of
a match.
Yep.
You know what?
Okay.
And not many wrestlers do that or have done that.
I don't think anybody.
I don't think they
doing
let
that.
a lot of guys do it.
No.
You
They
think
don't
so?
trust them to do
Most
it.
people can't pull it off.
No.
You don't think a Stone Cold Steve Austin could have done stuff like that?
Okay, you just named another all-time great.
But he wasn't even doing what Roman's doing.
But we're talking about actually doing it.
Right now, no. Mid-match, talking to the wrestlers.
It's
and
also hard to, like, get your voice picked up on the mics there.
Yeah,
like, you have to, like,
yelling.
He's yelling. Like, that's a skill.
And it's entertaining every time.
Really
Like
is, bro.
the most recent match against Sami Zayn, when he's like talking to his wife in the stands, and it was a lot. But Roman has really mastered the middle of the match promo. I think that's what you just called it. He does a great job at it. And you put all that into the whole mix of just great storytelling, great wrestling, great promos, great characters. It's just all been amazing from them. But it all, in a sense, possibly, because this world of wrestling, we don't know if it's over with yet.
Watch it, Mike.
We don't know if it's over with yet, but WrestleMania could either be the beginning, well, not the beginning, but the continuation or the end of the bloodline. It's one or the other.
It's the end.
Some thinks
The
the end.
bloodline drops all 6 titles.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it. And you know what? Dave, I'm with you.
Sam, I love you, Sam.
gonna be a rough weekend.
Dave, I'm with you. Sam, I'm sorry. I think the bloodline drops everything.
Et tu, Brute?
I think they've had a hell of a run, but you can't do it forever. And the only way, and I'm not to say that like it's getting boring now or anything, but come on now, evolution has to take place.
Well, if it's not Cody And if it's not Kevin and Sammy,
exactly.
I don't know that they have anybody left on the roster.
Who?
that
Braun
could be.
Breaker? Get the hell out of here.
First of all, watch your mouth.
Dude, Sam don't want us to talk at all.
I know.
Shift the show to Sam.
I don't want to
Sam don't want anybody talking
I
anymore.
did not say you can't talk. I said you brought a Braun Breaker.
Who
Don't be serious
is it
here.
going to be? Like
They
Jet
teased
just
out
said.
Cody the last one.
Cody. No, well, if done correctly,
Seth?
I think Solo can. I think Solo
Take
can
the belts off Roman?
could be the guy, but he's not. He's nowhere. He's
that
nowhere
was-
near
That's
ready yet.
years away, right?
Yeah, he's nowhere near
yeah,
ready yet.
yeah.
But as of right now, the perfect person to
Cody,
do it
man.
is Cody, and I think the same thing with the Usos.
Right.
Who better to do it than Sammy? Everything that Sammy has been through.
Well, they've beaten
everything
every
that-
other team.
Everything that Kevin has been through. It's really brothers versus brother. Hey yo, hey yo,
I'm getting a little hot in here.
hey yo,
I almost cussed.
hey,
I almost cussed.
woo!
Almost cussed.
Mike, it's getting a little hot in here. I had to
Hey,
take
man.
a quick,
First of all, no, it's not. It's not cold in here at all. This is
quick shout out to MIB. Okay.
But for real though, fellas, does the bloodline drop all the titles at WrestleMania? Dave, you said yeah, so let me get your
Yeah,
point of
bro.
view. Why do you think they drop them all? Is it time?
It's the same reason why I feel like the Usos and the tag match needs to end off night one. It's just too good of a story to give me the same old thing. It's just too good. You have to drop the belts to what you're seeing KO and this guy is doing.
This dude's in
have to,
disgust.
bro.
Said, "Don't look
Have
at me."
to. And Cody, bro, like Cody, it's just, you know what? It'll be a great twist if they don't, because the way they are promoting this man to win these titles on Sunday night, bro, it has to be.
It'd be a twist, but the problem is, like, last year when they booked the main event, when they booked Brock versus Roman, like, they're like, this is a great idea, uniting the
pissed me
titles,
off, by the way.
but they didn't know what to do afterwards. That was the problem. Like, they wrote themselves in the corner. Like, yes, it would be a great twist if Roman wins because everybody thinks, okay, Cody's the guy to do it. But I genuinely don't think they can go anywhere from that. Like, if it's not Cody, they genuinely do not have somebody else on the roster that makes logical sense to beat Roman.
And not only that, if it's Roman, that means Roman's gonna have to cheat to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Bloodline gets
Because-
involved.
Because as great as the storyline's been, Sam, every single title match that Roman has had has not been clean.
Yeah, ref bump or something like that.
It's been, he hasn't won clean his entire reign, which is fine.
Ooh,
But
The rope snapped on Finn Balor.
come on now.
what is he supposed to do about that? I'm so confused. What is he supposed to do about that? That's his job. You want him to wrestle and be the maintenance guy? Huh?
No, but Jet's saying what Jet is saying is true. What are you gonna save Cody? What's the next WrestleMania?
I like that they never revisited it again. They're like, yeah, the rope snapped. It is what it is.
Like,
Whatever.
I don't get it. It's freak accident.
Nobody talked about it ever again.
I'm sorry.
They don't even want to talk about it ever again because they just needed something to happen.
Like, this is the
But
only time it's happened in the past 10 years.
never
Like,
again.
it's no
Never
big deal.
happened
Don't worry.
again.
Tribal
Mishaps.
Chief can't handle stuff on his own. But okay, no, so, go ahead, keep going.
But I mean, for real though, there's nobody else, and I'm agreeing with basically what they're saying. Saying there's no Roman can't be the champion for another huge thing about it is obviously Roman is shifting towards this part-time performer, and as much as he is still a huge draw, does WWE want to go into their, because after WrestleMania it's pretty much like a new season for them. Does WWE want to go into this new season continuing to have their top belt on a guy who's only going to show up part-time? I don't think so. As much as they love Roman and everything he's doing, why worry about when and if Roman's going to show up when they can have a guy back in the olden days who's popping up every Monday, every Friday with the belt on his shoulder, ready to talk their talk and walk their walk? Sam, I love Roman, bro, but
Which is why, like, I know it came out that they're officially doing away with the brand split, which means that
they did?
they're going to be doing away with it.
About damn time.
Which
We
also
talked about
About
that.
damn time.
We've been thought that. That
there's,
shit
there's
is-
one reason why I don't like it. That means they're going to keep the titles unified. There's no reason then to
Have
split.
to, yeah.
to
But
split
hey,
the titles.
but that's what it was. Back in the day, this was it. SmackDown, Raw, you showing up with this. that wasn't it. But
Well, they've been a full year with just one title. Like,
Yeah.
they don't need. They don't need.
they don't
two.
need a brand split. The
But
one
they
main
do, I do
title.
agree with you. They need somebody who's there every week.
That's it, Sam. And
like
Roman's not doing that
But
anymore.
I feel like it's 3 against 1 now, so I want to know why you want him, but you can keep it.
He just Sam.
He's the honorary Oos. Go ahead.
Oh, it's my turn.
Go ahead, Sam. We said our piece.
I could go now.
I'm even gonna put this mic in its little holster right now.
Go
I
ahead,
just want
Brev.
to hear. I'm
Let's
just
hear it.
listening.
First off, the blatant disrespect that I have seen here
No disrespect, brother.
in the last 10 minutes. I told you not to piss me off.
And I did it for you.
I know you gonna wear that blasphemous shirt
You know
in
what?
my
Contra
presence.
blessings, because I also ordered the WrestleZania.
Still got everything.
But
That
He
one's
got
fire.
everything.
That one's fire.
It's on back order. So
Man got
I'm gonna get
everything.
it.
Well,
Okay, so,
first of all-
so count your blessings.
First of all, the shirt sucks. Okay, he couldn't even make his own design. He just put a piece of tape over his
Couldn't make
old
his own?
shirt because he couldn't think of something on his
Roman can't
own.
win by himself. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, second of all, Roman has won plenty of matches during this title reign clean. So let's not discredit the
Off the top
tribal
of your head
chief.
Right now, who?
He
Off the top
beat
of your head. Right now.
he beat Brock.
When has he ever beat Brock clean?
What?
When did he beat? Not when they
They buried him at
when
the.
that wasn't clean.
What?
In last year's Mania, something I forget what happened, but there was some interference.
What happened?
in last
What
year's
happened?
Mania.
What happened? Who was it?
I don't know. I can't even answer that.
Who
I
was
don't
it?
know. Go ahead, Sam. Continue.
Okay,
Continue.
Oh, you can't think of nobody
Fine.
interfered? It's because the man lost, right? Because he can't beat nobody.
So why does the
So he spent
bloodline
900
retain?
days cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's logical.
LA Knight in the building.
Just let me let
That's
me
my
talk
boy.
to you.
That's my boy there. But
My thing is this, honestly, right? Let's say, for sake of argument purposes, let's say the bloodline does drop all the belts, right? You give it to Cody and that guy, right? And
Kevin
KO,
Owens.
right? Now what? What stories do you build with them against who?
You can-
that are compelling.
that's wrestling for you.
You
though.
gonna put Drew McIntyre back in the spotlight against Cody Rhodes? Snore. Anybody else?
Probably Gunther, right? That's probably who.
My man Gunther.
Gunther
yeah.
and Cody Rhodes? Those promos are gonna be what?
Well, Cody's got a
the
good
All
promo.
American versus the All. Where's he from?
Austria.
Serbia? The All Austrian.
I don't want to say the wrong thing
That's
here.
gonna sound like a World War II promo. So
I don't want to say the wrong.
Your
What else?
logic, though,
What else?
Your
What
logic,
else?
though, is not
What-
fair.
what
because-
is- what
because at
is-
some
No,
point
man,
it
you
has
can get
to- at
you
some
get
point it has to-
Shinsuke involved, and
my
that's really
thing is
all
this,
World War II.
when you find something better, I'm okay with that. I did not say they had to be champions forever, but find.
You don't think
something
there's
better.
nothing good right now to take their place?
as good as? Who do you watch wrestling for right now?
The bloodline. I ain't gonna hold
Who do
you.
you watch wrestling for right now?
Oh, Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about that. Oh,
First of all, one, that's satire.
Yo, literally,
Two,
he cracks me up
two,
every week.
I'm
He's-
really
he's
starting to think
killing.
that might be Eddie Guerrero's son.
That's-
I'll tell you.
That's-
he-
I just watched
he
his
look
segment and then turn it
Eddie, he
off.
Talk like Eddie. He got Eddie's height. Never mind. Who do you watch wrestling for?
Anything else?
Yeah, liar. That's it. You couldn't even say
I
it
watch.
with a straight face.
I
You
want to
watch
know
for
what the bloodline's doing. I surely
So
do.
bloodline with
And
no
LA
belts.
Knight.
Who are you? You're tuning in
But
for
when we talking about that a couple weeks ago in the chat, though,
about what?
about if you're that good of a wrestler, or if you're that much of a draw, you don't need belts to have good programs.
That's true. But again, if you're at the top of the program because you are the champion, who's carrying it? KO and Sammy? KO and Sammy gonna carry the tag team
You don't think
division?
Sammy can carry?
Against who?
You don't think Sammy can carry?
Again,
You don't
Street
think
Profits.
The Street Profits? We're just throwing anything out there now. This is
Maximum man.
not- maximum male Don't piss me off.
I'm
Don't
playing.
piss
Okay,
me-
I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm
there's
joking.
rumors.
what
there's
other-
rumors that we might have a Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa return.
Well, if
Sam.
Tommaso Ciampa could ever stay healthy for more than 2
Sam.
weeks, sure, I'd love to see that.
You don't think
the,
this?
the NXTers?
You don't think so? You just think keep the belts on all of them and let it roll.
Until you find something better. I need to. If I'm telling you right now, if they lose, I guarantee you viewership goes down.
If the bloodline losing the breakup, viewership
You
drop.
put KO, Sammy, and Cody at the top. I guarantee viewership goes down.
So you don't
Oh, it
think?
got quiet.
So then you
I
don't.
think
got a little
Triple H.
got a little quiet in here.
I think the head of creative is up for the challenge.
Do you
But
think?
think
Go
about it,
ahead.
right? Triple H got lucky. Well, not lucky. He created the bloodline, right? But what if the bloodline didn't work out? What's the last 900 days without the bloodline?
No, they've been by far the main attraction.
But
The factions have been decent. Like Judgment Day, I think is a good faction. I'm gonna just keep talking about Dominic Mysterio.
Well, I liked Edge's Judgment Day better than
Me too.
Finn Balor's.
Me too.
But I've always been a fan of Judgment Day. I
think Damage Control has been the only interesting thing in the women's division too.
Please don't. See, if I say something.
Okay, so the real question is for Sam, because it seems like he's the only one here in a sense. Do you think, or you don't believe, creative has done a good job building up anybody else in the company that could replace what the Bloodline has been doing? You don't think as of right now, nothing or no one can
or even just
step
Roman.
into those shoes?
Roman.
Roman.
I don't think that's on creative. I think there's some people that just got it, right? And I don't think there's another combination of 3 people that can currently carry the company like Roman, Jay, and Jimmy. I don't.
What about this?
It's a compelling argument. It sure is, because I hear both sides of it.
Because again, think of the rivalries that you're gonna have. So you said Cody and Gunther.
There's rumor that Randy Orton's on the way back, and that would be a good storyline.
And I love Randy. I watch. And
Randy and Cody.
I watch.
Yeah,
Randy and Cody.
I watch.
Randy's better as a heel.
Viper Randy.
Randy.
Viper.
Yeah,
Randy.
Oh yeah.
I don't need RK Bro Randy. No, thank you.
No, I'm all set on that.
Set. I like sober Randy.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna say, because obviously, I think both sides of the argument. I hear the side where, hey man, let's keep the story, let's keep the universe going and bring in new faces and new story. I hear that. I also hear the fact that Bloodline is really the top of the food chain, and I don't see anybody really coming close to what they're doing. But the Bloodline and their matches aren't the only matches on the WrestleMania card. Whatever happens will happen, and then Monday Night Raw is going to pop off. But there's other matches and other storylines that we have to look at. Yeah. So, with that being said, WrestleMania is now a 2-night event. Quickly, how do y'all feel about the 2-night WrestleMania thing? Do you like the Saturday, Sunday? Do you just wish it was, let me get my whole Sunday night set up? Like, how do you guys feel about WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2? How do you guys feel about that?
I like it for now. Until they start to show that, okay, now you just, well, actually, it's actually just kind of doing it this year. And now you're just putting on matches just to fill the card.
Okay.
Like, what is
The
it?
showcase.
Yeah, the showcase tag
the
matches.
4-way tag matches, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's
For
just
what?
that's just filler.
Just filler. You're right. You're right.
And in Sam's word, why is Becky Lynch tagging with 50-year-old Hall of Famers in WrestleMania?
Hey, man.
For what?
That's why there's some matches, obviously, you want to watch, and there's some matches you're just like, all right, let me go use the bathroom or warm up my food when this match is on. So I want to know, there's 4 of us here, aside from the 2 matches that probably would be the main events, which is the tag match and the championship match, the Universal Championship match. What matches are you all looking forward to the most on? I don't think the cards on night 1 and night 2 have been solidified yet, but these matches are going to take place this weekend. Jet, I'm going to kick it to you first. Which match has you locked in?
Hell in a Cell is always awesome, so I'm definitely looking forward to Edge and Finn, and plus you're gonna see like Demon Finn Balor, and Edge I think is gonna probably bring back the Brood version of himself.
He might have
Gangrel. That would be awesome. So that would be that. I'm definitely looking forward to a lot. I'm sure they'll put on an awesome match.
Sure will.
And I'm curious to see Cena and Theory, because Cena hasn't had a lot of time to prep for a match. Obviously, he's super busy. Theory's young. That's the one I feel like I have the least sense of who's gonna win that match.
Okay.
I think most likely you're gonna see that Cena's gonna put over Theory.
He is, but I think that Triple H probably doesn't want him to, but I think Cena might insist on doing it.
I don't think Theory can't go any lower than he has, and I feel like Theory has found himself at the low of the low, especially with that transition with Triple H and Vince McMahon. The fact that the way they took the Money in the Bank briefcase off of him was just like, okay, they really don't, value this dude and what he's bringing to the company right now. And I feel like, Cena in a promo alone already buried him enough. Yeah. Like that promo was one of That's probably top 5 worst I've seen a promo go down with 2 people in a ring. The way Cena showed up, talked the way he talked about the guy. Cena hasn't been seen since, but that promo alone is carrying that storyline in a sense. But I feel as if Theory were to lose, it just dig him a deeper hole than he probably already is in right now because of that storyline and just because how his career is somewhat gone so far. I know he's had, 2 United States title reigns, but I just feel as if he can't get any lower. And Cena gains nothing in the victory. He wins the U.S. title, and then what? It's not like he's about to stick around and defend it every month.
I think he'll put it up for like an open challenger.
Yeah, and then lose it. I think that's just stupid.
But I think that with the story makes more sense. Like it's more strong for Cena to put Theory over in SummerSlam, I think.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the first meeting.
You think they fight twice, possibly?
I think that makes more logical sense because then you don't want to devalue Cena when he comes back. If he's just going to lose to everybody he comes back for, then it's harder for him to put over talent.
You're making me rethink my ideas.
The story of like if Theory loses and then comes back at SummerSlam and gets like sort of redemption, and even if it's not a title match or anything like that, and then beats Cena, like it shows growth. And then Cena splits with him, and so it's less of like, okay, Cena's coming back just to put over young people or lose. It gives him more value the next time he comes. I don't know how many more matches he has left, but I think he's got at least
making me
probably
rethink
2
what I
years
said
left in it. But I think because it's been such a short build up to this, because he's so busy, it makes more sense for Cena to win and be like, okay, this kid's cocky and arrogant. He's not quite there yet. And then if by the time SummerSlam rolls around, he beats Cena, that to me makes more sense as a story. I have a lot of other story ideas too for the rest of the card, and that I will talk about later. I know we're talking about Bobby Lashley at some point.
Yes,
we're gonna get there. I want to know what match Sam was looking forward to on the card. I want to hear your ideas because I'm always curious to think what other creative minds are out there. Because sometimes I think them dudes in the back that really work for creative don't know what the hell they doing.
Oh, we
and
had that talk too.
If they gave me a job, I could make some magic.
Yo, did you see? There was a story about a woman that they hired. She was talking about it. She's like, I said in my application, I know nothing about wrestling. They're like, whatever. And she came in, she hired. They're like, she didn't know anybody's name. She didn't
Probably
know
got picked
she,
by
like,
Vince.
Quit, like the next day, she's like, this isn't fun. Like I don't.
Probably
know.
got picked by Vince.
They
if
just
we
like
being
hired
honest.
her.
I bet Vince probably did hire her.
That upsets me.
What?
I'm not surprised.
I won't say too much on that. Sam, aside from the bloodline matches, what you looking at?
So I'm excited for the Hell in a Cell.
Yes, me too.
A lot. I think that will probably be the show stealer of the weekend. I think outside of the championship matches, that's the one that's really going to have people's jaws hit the floor.
I agree.
Now, in terms of the Cena Theory match, I'm looking forward to that only because I'm pretty sure Cena's going to put Theory over because he has to. Because Vince essentially screwed Theory by pushing him over in a way that was just ingenuine and people saw right through it.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing him in that Money in the Bank match was the worst thing that and it was the most predictable thing. Once you saw him come down the ramp, oh, so he's gonna win the Money in the Bank.
And you knew. And it's like once you're a Vince guy and stuff starts to not make sense, you're like, well, this is the kind of stuff I stopped watching for, right?
No, 100%. And that's what I was like, right before Triple H came in, I was like, I'm kind of like not enjoying this so much anymore. Because everything, like you said, he came down the aisle like, okay, he's going to win. Everything was, you could predict every match on the card every single night.
Like I used to put on wrestling and then just be doing other things at the same time. Like just needed the background noise, but I wasn't invested, right? So he needs Cena to put him over. I think Theory beats Cena clean. And then at the end of the match, Cena shakes his hand and grabs the mic and kind of acknowledges.
You think did he switch to babyface then? Theory?
Hell no, he can't. They never gonna share that dude.
I don't know if this name is banned here, but there was a guy that lost to Randy Orton in SummerSlam back when Randy Orton first won his title, right? And he shook his hand.
Hey man, we not banning names here, bro. What you mean? Double M? Say his name. I know you talking about.
So when Randy beat Chris Benoit SummerSlam and took that world title, Chris shook his hand. Now Randy didn't turn heel.
No,
he didn't turn face. He stayed heel. So I feel like they can do the same thing.
He's gonna stay heel, but he's gonna be acknowledged by Cena. Cena's he's gonna validate him, and the audience is gonna be like, okay, now we can take. Because imagine having a major champion that no one believes in. That just devalues the entire.
They got to put on a hell of a match. I
I
And
think
they put too much investment in that in that character in the gimmick change. The Now Theory, low key, when he came out with that gimmick, the Now Theory, I was actually kind of excited. I hated the 8-Town Down theory, but
Yeah,
The selfies.
I hated that.
Again. That's why we didn't take him seriously.
But that's a Vince thing, right? That was 100% a Vince
Sure
thing.
was.
But this new grungier type, jean jacket type guy, I like it.
Because that promo, we thought it buried Theory, but it really didn't. Honestly,
Hope it lit a fire on his ass.
that's what it did.
Because that promo
have
last
you seen
night-
all his matches since then,
yeah.
he beat the Street Profits and
Yeah, clean.
easy, and that's two talented brothers.
I feel if Theory, can clean up his character for sure and just get things a little bit more in order, he can definitely be a huge player in the business down the line. We're talking Theory, we're talking Solo. Like, there's a couple of guys you bring up some NXT. Like, the future is in good hands, and I think guys like Triple H and even Shawn Michaels, in a sense, down at NXT, kind of running things down. I think they have a good idea and grasp on, who can step up to the plate and be put in a spotlight a little bit. Obviously, Roman's a kind of carryover from Vince, but, Triple H has handled them correctly. Cody Rhodes coming back, been handled correctly. I think they're doing a solid job with the Intercontinental Championship match. I think they're doing a solid job, with obviously Austin Theory and Cena right now, but that's one of the major matches on the card. So I think, looking at things overall, Triple H has done a hell of a job, and there's a lot of matches. Is this going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time? No, but, they can't all be the greatest. I do agree with what everybody said in terms of the Hell in a Cell. I really can't wait to see Demon Finn Balor come out, and I'd love to see Edge with the Brood. I was reading an article from Edge earlier today, and he was like, he got some crazy-ass ideas for the Hell in a Cell match because, he doesn't take these Hell in a Cell matches lightly. He knows it's a big stage in terms of WrestleMania, so he wants to put on a hell of a show with Finn Balor. I think one match that's not getting talked about enough but might just be a heavy-hitting, like beat each other's ass type of match is that triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship match. My man Gunther is a force. And I can't wait for him to take that next step to be going after one of the maiden titles down the line. But I think him, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre just going to beat each other's ass from left to right the whole time. And I think Gunther's going to retain because,
Yeah, they want him to break the record, I think, for longest IC.
he's a force.
He's nasty.
I rock with Gunther a lot.
He's really good.
You see, and real quick, that's the only thing that I think about when I think about the main title match. Do they keep the belts on Roman to give him his 1,000 days? That's
For
the
merchandise,
only,
yeah.
That's the only thing I think about. The 1,000 days for Roman.
Would that be the longest reign ever?
No.
No, it's Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Bruce Sammartino, I think, reigned for like 20 years.
no lie.
But Roman would be like
years.
top 5 or something, right?
He's already top 5, I think.
He's the longest since like Hulk Hogan in
It's
the 80s.
Bruno, Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, and
Roman gotta be up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. They about to
It's
do
all-
some
and I
research
think
real quick.
Morales.
Pedro Morales. Yeah, that's all. Like when there wasn't even a WWE, it was just like barnstorming stuff.
Hey man, I
real
think.
quick, though,
Go ahead.
I wanted to say Dominic and Ray. I think I've actually invested in that.
I'm in on that match.
Because you know what? I hate me some Dominic, bro. I really
he's
hate
doing an
Dom.
excellent job.
He really is, bro.
No, they
That
saved
heat is crazy.
they saved his career by
No, dead ass,
splitting
bro.
him from his dad.
They needed to do that.
Dead ass.
They needed to do
heat
that.
That heat that he's getting is amazing heat, bro. Like, and if his career goes down from this storyline,
That's on him.
that's a tragedy.
I'm telling you, WWE had one more week to allow that man to talk about Ray without hitting him before I was like, okay.
Yeah.
The promo he gave the other week about all my friends had Mercedes and you got me a BMW and it wasn't
Dude,
even an M
that got me so heated.
I was cackling.
It was mad.
I was cackling.
He's funny. He's really. What was his nick? What's his nickname now? Ex-con.
Ex-con.
Dom.
Prison Dom. You want to where he got it from?
Teardrop on the
Folks kept sending what's his name, Finn, Prison Mike from the Office memes, and so if you're an Office fan, you know what Prison Mike. is.
Yep.
So Dom was like, I'm gonna start using it, and as a joke though,
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
caught
yeah,
on.
yeah, caught on.
It's caught on.
So Prince and Dom is where it's at.
We'll see. That match to me is, I mean, it's a nice little father-son storyline, but like I said, I'm more concerned with how Dominic comes out of that match and where, because I mean, obviously he's the next in line to be with the company for a long period of time. What's WWE gonna do with him? At one point, I thought there was talks of maybe putting the mask on him. I don't know if they should still go that route now,
I think it's too late.
but
No,
we'll see. But listen, we're gonna take a quick break because there's a lot more I want to talk to, because I know we talked about what's on the card, but some things that are not on the card that might be missing, or some wrestlers who might be missing on the card. So we're going to get into that after this quick break here with Double M. And we're back here, Double M, Road to WrestleMania edition. I'm here with my brothers Sam, Jet, Dave. We all in the building here. But let's get into some more WrestleMania talk. WrestleMania goes Hollywood this year. And while we spent a lot of time talking about who's on the card and the big matches on the card that we're looking forward to, there's some guys, maybe gals, some stories that aren't on the card, aren't really getting highlighted, aren't really getting talked about, maybe got taken off the card. And I know I'm not too happy about some people. I know y'all ain't too happy about some people, but let's get into that. What are some storylines maybe, or some performers, sports entertainers, whatever, wrestlers, whatever the hell you want to call them, who aren't on the card that maybe you're feeling a certain type of way about? Sam, I'll kick it to you because I know you really got a lot to say right now.
Let me tell you something.
Now let me talk to you.
No.
I-
We'll get to him soon.
Okay, cool,
That's
cool,
my
cool.
guy. But another one of my guys that has been done an absolute injustice is Bobby Lashley. It doesn't make a lick of sense to have someone that was at the top of the promotion for a long time now be relegated to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
And that's not even happening at WrestleMania, right? Isn't that happening on
Friday.
SmackDown?
Yeah.
Trash. Okay.
Are you?
It's on
What?
SmackDown. It's on
on
Friday.
SmackDown?
Are you?
Because WrestleMania is on Saturday and Sunday.
No,
That's
I
right.
know. I'm saying,
But-
what, like the
He's
how
on
did
Friday.
Bobby Lashley end up in that? That's not.
It's
even
not his fault.
I know it's not his fault. That's what I'm saying.
Bray got sick.
Who back there couldn't think of something better for him after Bray came up with this random mysterious illness, which really is just the people backstage not knowing what to do with him.
No, they
Ain't
know.
nothing wrong with Bray. Bray's perfectly fine.
You don't think so?
I know how to book it. I figured it out. I know how to book
I have
it
an
right.
Book
idea
what
about
exactly?
The Bobby had to get Bobby Lashley.
So
at the
give
WrestleMania.
your idea first.
All right. So first of all, it's an embarrassment that he's not in. He's one of their 4 or 5 biggest stars, in my opinion, and also he's one of my favorite workers. He's really fun to watch. Like just because he's insanely strong. Like that's ridiculous. This is what I'd do. He's on Raw. Have Damian Priest, who's not working WrestleMania either, who I really like, start a program with Lashley, and then you get Lashley versus the Judgment Day, revitalize the Hurt Business because Lashley can't take on the whole Judgment Day itself. So that's my plan.
This guy Jet, I like him.
That's my plan.
That's why I brought him.
Lashley
That's why I brought
drops
him, bro.
to Priest at WrestleMania because of interference, like all
And now
Judgment
he
Day.
needs help.
And now he needs help, and that's how you get the Hurt Business back involved. I think that works.
That's
I
I
like
should have booked it last night.
that's what I'm saying. It might be too late
It's
to
no.
do that, but I love that. That's way better than what I was thinking. Admittedly, so
Do you still
that's-
maybe want to even say it?
At WWE, I do need a job, so
Hey man, you got my vote. That
Give
is
my
way
man
better.
Jet the money, man.
No, that's
way
beautiful,
better
Jet.
than
I
what I
like
was
that. I wasn't
thinking.
even thinking that at all.
I wish they do because they've been like rumblings about the Hurt Business getting back together.
And it's
And
perfect
that was
time.
such a joke that they broke them up. Like Vince,
Because Vince
Dumb.
is
Dumb.
a dummy.
I
Respect.
almost swore again, too.
Don't sue. But like, it made no sense because they all had gold.
Yeah,
They were
did.
doing great.
and then they turned Cedric into
jobber.
into a jobber.
pretty
And,
much.
and Shelton's not even that.
He went back to being a jobber, if we're being honest, but
And they're both great workers.
Insanely talented, especially as a tag team.
yeah.
Cedric, I think, is the best seller on the entire roster.
Yeah, he's very good at it. Him and
Stop Ali.
Chad Gable.
Oh,
Chad Gable's an awesome.
Yo,
That-
when he
that-
took that Rhodes Cross, that
That
Crossroads,
Crossroads was one of the best sales I've seen in a long time.
But no one's a better seller than
But yeah,
Dolph Ziggler.
that's my
But
idea.
anyway,
Well, Dolph Ziggler just sticks his
what was
head
your
in.
idea, Sam, for Bobby?
So I was gonna say, I was gonna have Bobby come to SmackDown and hold the show, not even hold the show hostage. I was gonna have him interfere in every match, just destroying everyone that comes out until he got put into that Intercontinental match and they made it a fatal 4-way.
Ooh, that's not too
That'd be
bad
good
at
too.
all.
That'd be awesome.
That's not bad at all.
Because it's something you could work in last minute, because you have Bobby come out completely enraged to start off the show, say that there's no reason that on the biggest stage of them all, someone like him has to work Friday night and wasn't able to be given a shot to fight somebody, anybody at WrestleMania. It's 2 nights.
Yeah.
Generally,
So just have him go into
both
a
you guys-
rage and just put everybody into hurt locks until Adam Pearce has to come out and say, fine, you're in. That's a fatal 4-way match.
I like both of your ideas.
I mean, I generally would like that idea. Only thing is that, for me, 2 things. I find fatal 4-ways to be messy.
really?
Yeah,
More than-
I missed the fatal 4-ways back in the day.
triple threats. I could deal with the triple threat.
You don't like fatal 4-ways?
Fatal 4-ways. I mean,
I love them.
Man, back in the day, they used to defend this
but-
title in some
but-
fatal 4-ways,
but
and it
the
used to be
reason-
great.
But
WrestleMania 2000.
Yep,
The
exactly.
second reason, though, which is really the main reason, I feel like it would just feel like another, I'm just throw you in something. At least in here, in his idea, no offense, at least in his idea, they're building a program.
Yeah,
right?
I said his idea is definitely better. It just needed to be put in place sooner.
Yeah, no, it would be a lot easier to integrate your ID now. You could do it on Friday.
I just feel like it's
I don't think
thrown
they've
Bobby-
It is.
screwed
it
it
is.
up now.
Is Bobby the
I'd
type
rather-
of guy you just want to throw into something?
I'd
No.
rather have
he
Bobby.
deserves more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd rather him get thrown into something
Yeah,
than
not
to
be
get left
on
out.
at
I think
all.
too the Lashley thing makes sense. The way I wanted to book it too is that if Edge puts over Finn in Hell in a Cell, then they're done. That feud is over.
it needs
and
to
they
be
need a
done.
new Judgment Day would need a new feud.
And
so
perfect
Lashley would be a great person
Judgment
for them
Day
to do this.
versus Hurt Business, that can
I'd
carry you
love
for
that.
a
We
couple.
actually talked about that.
That could
a
carry
while
for a
ago.
couple pay-per-views, and in the amount of matches you can put up together, I think it'd be nice to see.
Especially if under her business could find a woman to put in there to go against.
Shed Bianca.
Ooh. You could put Tez in her business with Bianca.
Well, are you
Spread
staying
up the Street Profits.
You ready to do that?
I think the Street Profits will run their
You know
course
what we
anyway.
What Sam's been wanting to do for like 2 years now? Saying you've been wanting to split the Street Profits for like
No, I
2
said,
years.
are you
Hey,
ready? We know I'm ready.
Tez,
I said, are
Tez a
you
part of the future
ready?
there with Solo,
Oh, yeah.
with Carmelo Hayes, with Tez is part of the
I
future.
still don't
They might put
understand
him
why
in the Hurt Business. if
That's
they
what
do
that was the
Carmelo.
rumblings. You know what really stopped all this Hurt
Forget-
Business building?
Cedric and Shelton.
Carmelo is nice.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
Bobby with the Street Profits, turn them all heel, and then do what The Rock did to Farouk.
And take over the
Tez
reins
do that to Bobby.
or become the new leader.
Yo, come on
You
now.
getting a little crazy.
Sign us
WWE,
up.
we have some writers here. We have writers.
That would be dope.
Hire them.
That
It's
was
so
really
Tez
much
gotta
better-
take
so
over-
much better than Bobby Lashley's in the Andre Giant Battle Memorial. Like
Stupid.
nobody cares
Stupid.
about that.
Disrespectful. That's the better word.
a
Disrespectful.
match that starts with all the participants
For
already
2 years
in
ago,
the
he was
ring.
the main
It's
event
trash.
of WrestleMania,
Trash. But I mean, hey,
and he hasn't done anything like to lower himself on the card.
no.
No.
Here's another guy though that I believe deserves a spot, and maybe not even a match, but he has to get ring time because he's over right now for sure, and that is my guy L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
That's my boy. But no lie, the rumors are that possibly because they've been trying to get Stone Cold on this card very bad. They wanted Stone Cold, they wanted Rock. Rock's clearly not happening, but Stone Cold, they've been trying everything, and Stone Cold's always been a guy like, look, I'm not coming back for no BS. Like, it has to be something entertaining, something that I'm going to find interest and value in. And LA Knight has a lot of people in his corner right now. He clearly has won over the fans because he's excellent on the mic. His personality is just entertaining, and it draws people in like it did for me. There's no reason why you can't have LA Knight in that ring talking his talk. You hear that glass break, Stone Cold comes down, and even if LA Knight takes a Stone Cold stunner in the middle of the ring, it's not going to diminish him at all.
It elevates him.
It would elevate him because he got the rub. That's what they call it, right? The rub from Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think LA Knight deserves a spot and deserves some chunk of time in the middle of that ring with the mic in his hand because after WrestleMania, he's another guy who has to take that next step in terms of who are some real contenders. I don't know, for the Universal title, for the Intercontinental title, even the U.S. title. Like, something has to come from LA Knight being in this business. So I'm looking forward to him. Is there anybody else that we missing? Because I can shift this conversation wild right now, and I know we can all go off on this next topic I want to bring up.
The only other person I would say, and we don't even need to talk a lot about it, because you know he's my guy, is Karrion.
Oh, shit.
We don't even need to.
Forgot about Karrion.
That's self-explanatory.
They killing
because
it.
he's been off TV for like 3 weeks. That's why you forgot about him, man.
They're
He has
fumbling
everything.
him bad. They're
He has
fumbling
the
him
talent.
bad.
He has
The look.
the
They're fumbling Karrion
Great
Kross
entrance.
bad.
Great entrance.
top 5
amazing.
entrance.
Scarlett is bad.
Sure is.
A different kind. That's a vixen. That is he has everything.
They're
He's a
fumbling
lucky man.
Karrion.
He's a lucky man. Karrion
They're
Kross.
fumbling
Nothing.
Karrion Kross.
And the weird thing is he started off hot. NXT way over. Then you brought him over
to Smack, his debut on SmackDown was great.
with Drew McIntyre.
That was a great program.
beating the daylight out of him.
I thought that was a great program, to be honest with you.
They're fumbling
and
Karrion
then
Kross.
as soon as that was done,
fumbling.
nothing. I'll let that be because I don't want to get angry.
After this triple threat, given if Drew doesn't win, does Drew get any push anymore after this?
Drew will get a push eventually when the belts are off Roman. Because they don't want to do that. They put a lot of time into that Roman Drew storyline, and Drew lost. So Drew ain't gonna get the
really
push.
thought he was
Another
about to win in
interference.
Cardiff, man.
Interference.
We really thought he was going to win.
I thought
in
he
Cardiff.
was.
Drew.
Who thought he was going to win?
You did.
He was. It looked like it was gonna happen.
yeah, I
it
thought it
did
was
look
gonna-
like it was gonna
I thought they
happen.
were
Sam,
gonna
my
give him
friends
that
call me the
moment
king
in
of
Cardiff.
receipts. I
He
can bring him
deserves
up.
his moment. Drew deserves his
It
moment.
don't
He
matter.
does. He
It's
does.
not-
'Cause the pandemic era, he was working his ass off.
It's not gonna come at the expense of Roman Reigns, but Drew's gonna get his moment eventually.
Didn't he have his moment already?
No.
He was a top guy.
Did he win the belt in front of the people, Sam?
I'm
He
sorry.
did, but it was.
It was a pandemic. I don't know
No,
what
no,
to
no,
tell
no.
you.
He won in front of nobody.
No,
yeah.
it
no,
was against,
he
it
didn't
wasn't
win.
the-
He beat Brock.
Yeah.
First of all,
Brock in
first
front,
of all,
but that wasn't even in
first
the
of all,
when they
there
had
was
the
like-
screens.
They,
That
in the
was just
performance
PC.
center.
there was like 20 people there. Remember they used to
No,
have
but the
like
second ring, the
extras
second ring.
in the little.
No.
He had a second reign, but it was in front of TV screens.
Yeah, it was in front of TV screens.
No. They
He won
gonna
it, he lost.
they're
to Randy
gonna
Orton
give-
and won like a month later.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
give Drew his pop in front of the fans. It's just not gonna come at the expense of Roman. But let's switch it real quick because we got to talk about this division that seems to be getting zero love, especially since Triple H is taking over. For some reason, since Triple H is taking over, it seems like it's went in decline, to be honest. And now we're here at the road to WrestleMania, and the fact that Bianca and Asuka didn't show up at all on Raw, if they had a
They just had,
promo,
like,
Don't get me
vignettes,
started, bro.
yeah.
the
Please.
fact that they didn't show up is wild. But what's going on with this woman division, and why does it seem like there's no hype at all for either the SmackDown title match or the Raw title match? These women's matches are not getting, even the 3-on-3, like Trish and Lita are back, but like nobody really cares much about these matches. Who's to blame?
I think it's a matter of we're also talking about mouthpieces. They're not good on the mics.
None of them?
Most of them aren't. Asuka can't
Speak English very well.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Bailey's good on the mic.
Yeah, just Bailey.
Becky's not good on the
Becky's
mic?
all right.
Becky's good on.
Bianca's not-
Bianca's okay.
Bailey
Bianca's okay.
of them.
Rhea's okay.
Bailey's the best of them.
Charlotte?
Charlotte's terrible on the
That
mic.
promo
You think
last Friday was not
Charlotte
good.
can't be a baby face. That's
No,
her
she
main
can't
problem.
do it.
No, she can't.
She's like a Randy Orton. She
doesn't
can't be a
know-
baby
She doesn't know
face.
how. Like she defaults back to being.
She can't. She's Randy Orton. She's
I
Randy
really
Orton.
hate the way that they, at least for the, in my opinion, at least for the SmackDown Women's Title match, they've done some back and forth promos. You know, at least 2 or 3 SmackDowns you've seen them, and they had that big brawl. They have done absolutely nothing
been
for
sad.
Becky and Asuka.
Sad.
And as good as those packages that you saw last night,
You shouldn't have to do that.
it felt so much like, oh snap, we forgot to promote this the Raw tag match.
100%.
And so, oh wait, hey, KO. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, guys, can you come do a quick, 20 minutes and just talk about these guys real quick? We're going to throw
Like,
it together.
remember when Asuka was undefeated?
Yeah. It gave that so much as quick. Like, why is it that all we've had is Asuka spitting out blue and Bianca looking disgusted?
It's been
And then
stupid.
finally, Asuka hits Bianca in the back of the head after tag match, and that's the last time we've seen them.
Yeah, it's been trash.
What?
The build has been trash.
The best part was the brawl between Charlotte and Rhea was a solid brawl. That was fine.
amazing.
But then
I
the next
enjoyed
week, Charlotte gave one of the worst promo. It was
Horrible.
just boring.
I feel like
They
she
didn't
was
follow
reading
it
off
up.
the card.
But again, it's because, like Mike said, she can't be a babyface.
But they lost. I mean, they lost their best promo person in the women's division, and Sasha was their best mic worker.
I
far.
really don't want to get mad, so I'm just not gonna.
Well, we all love Sasha, but she's a Boston.
She'll be back. She'll be back. She'll be back
I'm-
eventually.
I'm trying to keep my cool.
That was another
So the
Vince
Sasha
McMahon
story
special.
You know, I actually would like to think that WWE does this thing where they're not heels. Kind of like in Marvel, you know how like you have the good guys, the bad guys, and you have like the anti.
Yeah,
Anti-heroes?
Yeah.
I feel like folks like Charlotte are they're not really faces. They're more anti-heels.
Well, she can't be a babyface. It just doesn't.
She just doesn't have good chemistry with anybody except for Becky. Because they genuinely don't
and
like
Sasha.
and Sasha.
And Sasha.
Oh, they got real heat?
They get Charlotte.
Yo, they
and
do.
Becky.
They
Yeah,
sure
really
do.
don't like each other.
Yeah,
They got
You forgot
real
that
life
belt
beef.
drop thing? That was
That was real TV.
That wasn't scripted.
Yeah.
That belt drop thing was for real.
But I think Bianca versus Rhea was a match everybody wanted to see, and the other woman that I'm really interested in seeing is Raquel Rodriguez. I think is
Her time is coming too.
Interesting.
Her time is coming
Because
too.
this is a whole new generation of women where they're all kind of built like China because they're just super strong and can take the men. That's interesting because they can do moves other women can't.
it's very
That's
true.
true.
I mean,
These
and-
jerk-
and
that is
Shayna
the
Baszler-
Let's not say these
Shayna
jobs.
Baszler is a great technician. I feel like under the right push, she could be an amazing.
She can't deliver a promo either.
Yeah, but
She needs Paul.
who'd you say in the car? Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero, bring Vicky back. Bring Vicky back.
Hey,
Let
we were
her
just
be a
talking about
manager.
this slightly. The whole men, women, they need more managers because unfortunately there's just some men and women who don't know how to cut it for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with having a solid mouthpiece that can get you
helps.
over. It's very helpful.
And I'll blame Rhonda because she wasn't trained to do this.
Nope. She's trash on the mic.
She might be the worst.
Yeah. And there's a couple of them that just, like I
No,
said, men and
a
women
lot of them are bad,
that
but
need
she
somebody.
What are we doing
might
for
be
Alexa
the
Bliss?
absolute worst.
Jeez, I
What are we
forgot
doing
about
for
it.
Alexa Bliss?
Whenever they figure out Bray, hopefully,
What did I say? Nicole? I said we won't know what Alexa Bliss is doing until we figure
they
out
have
what
her
Bray.
tagged.
they need to figure out what they're doing with Bray and just make
But-
Alexa his.
Here's
her-
the thing with
his
her
valet.
too. I think with the rise of Bianca and Rhea and Raquel, she's so small, it doesn't make sense for her
Yeah,
to beat
because it
them.
looked like they'd be beating her ass
They
every time
can't-
they in the
there's
ring.
no way they
She's
can
just so
logically
small.
say she's not Rey Mysterio, where she's gonna just be beating these huge dudes.
Well, then let her be Bray's valet.
But my thing is, if Liv Morgan had a run as champion and she's the same size as Alexa Bliss, why can't we push Alexa Bliss?
Got
Why
to build an
can't
underdog
her-
she's
Why can't-
Alexa's had a title, right? She's
Yeah, she
couple
used to-
times.
she's like a 4-time champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could run the division. I'm telling you, if they would just figure out this Bray thing and let her be the female representative in this Bray Wyatt new family thing, she'd be all set.
I think the two
Once they figure that out, eventually, hopefully.
the two things that'll help the women's division is to put more emphasis on the tag, make legitimate tag teams.
Yeah,
they have one tag team.
Damage Control.
Damage Control. They have one, literally one.
Everybody
Make
else is
other
thrown
set
together.
Tag teams, they have enough women to make legitimate tag teams every week. And two, I think a mid card women's title would help, not the 24/7.
I said this.
You got that.
I said this.
Tebow said that.
Hey, man.
You said that earlier this week, right?
Yeah. I was like, hey, AEW kind of got.
It works in
has a good,
AEW, right?
That's a good idea with the TBS Championship.
Yep.
She's undefeated, right?
Yeah, Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill. She's undefeated.
Knock off Becky, Bianca Belair.
You watch your mouth. But yes.
Okay.
But also,
I
yes.
think it would be pretty dope to have a mid card championship for the women's division. I think it would bring
Solid
fire,
idea.
It would bring intensity.
Get more women involved.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, I hear you. These are solid
Remember-
ideas.
You remember what my retort to that was?
If they can't do the tag team right, what are they?
That
gonna
is
do with
that's true. They can't even get the tag team belts right. But hey, man, they got to figure
That's
it
what
out.
pissed off Sasha, right? Was that they just
Yeah. Because
And
it
it's a
made-
valid
the,
argument.
Putting
It's
Sasha
a
and
valid.
Naomi in a 5-way match with
randoms.
Yeah,
Bunch of randoms.
And they were
Sasha
supposed
was like,
No
and they
real
were supposed to
storyline.
fight- They were supposed to fight each other.
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
Yeah, while that idea of bringing in another title makes sense, it's like I say, if they can't get the tag team titles right, they would not. They just don't necessarily value the women in the wrestling, unfortunately, and that has to change because you're gonna have more women speaking out and doing. I think Ronda's starting to speak out a little bit too, saying like, "Yo, the whole tag division is trash and what they're doing with it." More women are going to start doing that, and that's going to cause
You
a
see
problem.
how good they are too. Like they're incredible.
They deserve
workers.
an
Like,
opportunity.
yo, Bianca is freaking unbelievable.
they deserve
Every
more
single night,
opportunity.
she's a just legit freak
you know who's a
athlete.
pleasant surprise in the ring, in my opinion? What's that girl's name? Green.
Shotzi?
Shotzi.
Yeah,
I think
Shotzi.
Stop. Yo,
No
Mike has
disrespect.
never rocked.
she can rock.
All I'm saying is,
Mike doesn't like the tank.
I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna close it out like this.
Anti-violence doesn't like the tank.
I'm gonna close it out like this. There's no way you can go from a couple of years ago, women main eventing WrestleMania, to right now they're an afterthought on the card. That drop off does not make sense.
because they're better
So I'm gonna
now
leave
than
it
they
at
were
that.
a couple of years ago
Did I?
too.
They have the talent there. They just don't build it correctly. And you have Bianca and Sasha main event WrestleMania, correct?
Yep.
And now,
so at that.
and that was a banger.
and you're not even worried about that match, and you're not even worried about Bianca and what she's doing anymore. Just it doesn't make sense. That drop off should not happen.
Okay, well, for the record though, or for the sake of quick conversation, who walks out champions in this? Rhea, Bianca, Asuka, Charlotte.
Got to put the belt on Rhea this time, and I think Bianca retains.
I agree. Rhea they would
deserves
do a
it.
huge disservice to have Charlotte win again at WrestleMania.
I know they want to build Charlotte up as this the
But she's-
greatest women wrestler ever, but come on now.
It's Rhea's time,
Rhea
definitely,
deserves
and
it.
she should hit a long run. And I don't see Bianca losing to Asuka. They haven't built up the story enough where it makes sense. And like Bianca, if Bianca's going to drop it, she's going to drop it to Rhea or I guess maybe Raquel. If Raquel, they could make her a heel.
Something.
I'd be interested to see Bianca turn heel. I think that would be
interesting.
interesting.
You don't think they ever revisit Bayley versus Bianca?
They should because it was a good rivalry.
Yeah,
but
deserves a
they've
bigger
run
shades.
it back so many times.
Yeah,
They gotta let more time pass before they bring him back. But I mean, look, fellas, we could sit here talking wrestling all night, and like we already know, the biggest show of them all is coming up this weekend, April 1st and 2nd. WrestleMania goes Hollywood. But I want to close it out with this question, and it's not necessarily about this WrestleMania, but WrestleManias in general. This is going to be our final question on this roundtable show that I'm going to ask each of you, and we're going to close it out after this. I want your top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time. 3 matches that personally stand out to you. I don't care if they're main event. I don't care where they were on the card. You tuned in to whatever WrestleMania it was, and these matches stand out to you. I could say 5, but 5 is a lot. We could be here forever. I want your top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time. Me, I'll give y'all time to think. I think I have my 3 already, so I'm going to kick it off. You got yours?
I got mine.
Go ahead, Sam.
So I'm gonna go with the last Roman and Brock.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
All time, Sam.
Was
I'm
that
saying
your,
all time.
Was that your favorite of their matches
Yeah.
together?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
I thought the I Quit match or
The Last Man Standing.
match was
Yeah.
a great match.
I
I thought that the Last Man Standing match was a great match.
so I don't know. Something about that WrestleMania.
They deemed it the biggest match of all time to unify them 2 belts.
That was short too, wasn't it?
Well, that's because
Just sick,
Roman
I was
was
sick and
fighting
tired
with
of the
one arm.
matches. I was sick and tired of those matches, but
To me, that one stuck out to me because I felt like now Roman can finally move on from this whole Brock thing,
okay.
and that's when like
Except for he didn't.
he was supposed. I thought he was going to. He should have, but I thought that was the end. When he's sticking both titles in the air after the match, and he can't lift his right arm. That moment will always stick out to me because that was real pain. Yeah. He was really fighting with one arm. That was one of the biggest moments for me. Okay. Number 2, Rock and Hogan. Rock and Hogan was huge. The passing of the torch, 2 icons that were bigger than life. Just that moment when they're both in the ring and they're both looking at opposite directions and the crowd is just going nuts.
On my list.
Well, you know what I love most about that match is the fact that everyone thought they were supposed to be rooting for Rock.
Mm-hmm. Hogan got that pop.
He sure
He had that
did.
little Hollywood moment. He had
And
that.
and you know, and we were talking about earlier about greats being able to empathize. They realized, Rock and Hogan realized, oh snap, they ain't here for you, Rocky. They here for Hogan.
And he reverted to his old Hogan self for a little bit.
You know what?
I'll never forget that.
What sucks is what a terrible person Hulk Hogan is.
But
Like,
I want
grew
to
up,
stay
like,
in a good
We're not
mood.
gonna get into
being-
that
I
part
wanna
yet, but
stay
I
in
feel
it.
you.
As like
He's really a
he
piece
was
of
like
crap.
Yeah.
my hero when I was a little kid. I dressed up like Hulk Hogan for Halloween.
Ooh,
Like,
please don't keep
and
telling
it's
people
like
that.
this guy is
Leave that story here.
this guy's the actual worst.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a
no,
legitimate terrible person.
No, he's the scum of the earth.
Oh boy.
But it was a great match. Number 3,
What's your third?
rocking Stone Cold when Stone Cold turned heel.
Hey, yo, Sam got my list. Minus that Brock and Roman.
When he sided with Vince.
Yo,
No lie.
my
I'm gonna say
God.
my parts to those, but
My
I
God,
like your
Yeah,
list.
I don't
that
even
was
need to
amazing.
explain that because no one saw that coming.
Right,
And
we're all around like the same age too, so it was like that was like a big moment, like growing
Like
up
in
too,
my
like,
life.
Next
Yeah.
day at school,
Not
you're like,
just on TV,
what?
that was just big in my life.
It was like you've seen these two gentlemen go at it for such a longest time, and for them to shake hands,
Beautiful.
for them to work together. Stone Cold and Vince, really?
Yeah.
That's my 3.
I'm gonna say because Sam has pretty much my list. That Rock and Hogan match was just the build up to that was amazing, and then the match itself and the fans, they were going nuts for that match from start to finish. And there can never be another moment, I don't think, where two wrestlers can stand in the middle ring, look to the left and right. I know they tried to recreate that magic with the Rock and John Cena. Looking to the left and right, but it wasn't the same when The Rock and Hogan initially did it. But that right there was amazing. So that's one on my list. Number 2, again, that Rock and Stone Cold match. While the match maybe not the greatest like wrestling match of all time, the build up to that match and then that promo video with I think Limp Bizkit or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That promo video might be the greatest of all time to hype up a match.
I'm gonna
And
do things my way.
yeah, just that hype up video to that match is amazing. And then my last match again, and again, it doesn't, to me, it's not always about the wrestling in the ring, but just the story that brings it together. When Undertaker got buried alive by Vince McMahon with help from Kane, and then he reverted back to the dead man persona because I was sick and tired of that American Badass. When he reverted back to the dead man persona, but like the weeks on Raw leading up to his return and how he was trying to scare Kane and the bell going off and different things. I love that lead up to that match. I was pissed that he came back and at least could have gave him some damn extensions or something because I wanted the Undertaker with the hair over his face and he really looked crazy. He came back looking kind of half dead man, half bad. It was weird. But I say that to say I like the build up to the match and how he came back to fight Kane and just reverted back to that persona. So those are my 3 matches. What you got for me, Jet?
TLC 2, I think it was, right?
Ooh, yes, sir.
That's
Was
my
that
favorite
the
match.
one when Edge speared
The spear
Jeff?
off the-
That is
That might be my
amazing.
favorite match of all time.
Yeah, yeah,
Both
yeah.
those TLC matches.
That's a good
are-
match.
So the
fire.
That's a good match.
right?
Yeah. So it was,
Swear to God, he's cut him in half.
so it was Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys,
Edge and Christian. Yeah, okay.
which are also 3 of the greatest.
Guys,
like,
we
tag
grew up in
teams.
such a great era of football.
We did. We
You ain't
really
lying.
did.
You ain't lying. All right. What else you got?
That's probably got to be number 1 for me. Like you said, the Rock and Stone Cold. Like I feel like we're all gonna have that on our list because, like, again, we're all like the
great
same
story.
age, and it was like those were the 2 guys.
Yeah. I used to fight my brother in the crib because he was a Rock guy. I was a Stone Cold guy.
I was a big Rock
Oh,
guy.
man.
Yeah, I was a big Rock guy. I had the elbow pad. I
Hey.
got it at an event one time and everything.
You throw it at somebody.
Yeah.
Please tell me you threw it.
Still in the backyard too.
somewhere kicking around.
All right.
And Mick Foley Edge, WrestleMania.
Did he put him through the table that was lit on fire?
Flaming table,
Oh,
yeah.
snap. Okay.
Amazing.
All right.
I like when tables break.
Get the freaking
we
tables. Okay.
I'm a table fan.
All right, Dave. What you got?
So I'm not gonna say anything that's already been said. Damn it, I just had it.
You lost it all?
Okay, so first, Taker, HBK.
Which one?
You know, I need to rewatch that. The first one?
Yeah.
because I always hear that's like the greatest.
Don't most people consider it the best WrestleMania?
Like best
match?
I need to rewatch it from start to finish. I'm gonna do that soon.
Was absolutely phenomenal.
Shout out to the Peacock Connect.
What great workers. What great performers. What great storytelling. I think that match was, it's up there, man. Upper echelon.
They went twice. They go once.
Twice.
This one was on. Wasn't Triple H?
Triple H was it was.
Special ref or something, I think like that. I think it was.
Yeah, they went twice. I think Triple H was a special referee.
He sweet chin music pedigreed him, and then he kicked out of it.
Yeah.
That's when the streak was still alive. Yeah.
Brock, Kurt Angle. Brock almost broke his neck.
Oh, he tried to do the flip off of the top rope.
That WWE Championship match was amazing. That was awesome. And lastly, I have to say the triple threat WrestleMania 20, Triple H, HBK, Chris Benoit.
When Eddie Guerrero came out at the end,
dude, that moment right there.
When Eddie Guerrero came out at the end,
a lot of
that was real. That was real.
Chris Benoit climbs up the ladder with this belt, by the way.
Hey, yo, hold it up one time for the people. Let them see it.
Chris Benoit
Woo!
climbs up the turnbuckle, puts up the belt.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Climbs down. Who's standing there?
Eddie
freaking Guerrero.
Yeah, that
Two
was
men that have traveled up and down.
Dominic's father.
Dominic's father. And two men that have traveled up and down. And those are the two men standing in the middle of the ring. WrestleMania 20, Madison Square Garden, top of the business.
That's a good.
Hey man, that's a good
really
list.
good.
That's a good top 3 there.
Really good.
Whew, fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this ain't gonna be the last time we do this roundtable.
Let's get it.
With the 4 of us, because I think the 4 of us bring together great ideas, great, thoughts on the business, our thoughts and feelings. I love what the 4 of us bring and the dynamic we have in terms of just the wrestling business. It's great. So we are definitely going to do this again. Sam, it's always a pleasure to talk wrestling with you, my brother.
Always, brother.
But it's
always.
great having my guy Jet here. It's great having my bro Dave here. We go back a long time. Here's what I want to do. Let the people know where they can find you, because like I said in the beginning of the show, you guys both have things going on. So, Jet, let the people know where they can find you. Any social media tags you want to throw out there, let them know.
For sure. Twitter is probably the best place to find me, at Jet Striar, JETSTRIAR. I'm talking mostly about the Celtics and the Patriots and whatever Marvel or DC news is going on. But now I'm going to talk a lot of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
The dam is broken. So you can find me there. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/JetStriar. The podcast I do every week is with our guy, John Sapichetti. Shout out to Sap. Pick and Roll NBA podcast with Jet and Sap. We do that twice a week, just talking all things NBA. So if you're an NBA fan, check the podcast out. It's also on the YouTube channel. So lots of places to find me. Appreciate it if you would give me a follow. And also, keep following Double M Media for all the stuff they do, because, the party on April 15th.
Woo! Yes, sir.
There.
We going Hollywood, too, just
I
like...
told you guys before, my wife's out of town that week. It's going to get weird. It's going to get weird at that party.
Jet tapping into that other stuff.
man.
My guy.
Hey, man.
My guy. Dave Mose. Let him know.
Good. So I'm the rookie here. Clearly this guy has a lot going on. You guys been doing this for so long, but I'm the rookie here. You can follow me on Instagram at Dave_Most. I do a little YouTube on the side. I do belt unboxing and belt reviews. The link to my YouTube is on my Instagram. I'm a rookie, so be nice to me, man. Help me out, check me out. I'm gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited, man. To be honest with you, once again, I just want to thank you, man, for doing this, because truly it's very important to enjoy what you do and find the time to do it.
Yes, sir.
Amen to that.
Because life is hard.
Sure is.
Life is hard. We all got our ups and downs. We all got our struggles. But if you can find something that can bring you some joy in the middle of the storms that you're passing through, just embrace it, hold on to it, and bring it. And one day, what you find joyful, what your hobbies are, might be able to put some money in your pocket.
Preach,
man.
brother.
So,
Amen.
man, if you love
Little sermon there. Quick little sermon there.
Hear my prayer. My God.
Ah, man. Let's put a bow on it. Sam,
Mike, what's going on April 15th again?
Hey, man, Double M is going Hollywood. If you haven't heard, you hearing it right now. Check us out. Coming soon. April 15th. Tickets are on sale now. Just hit up the Double M IG, Double M Twitter, Double M Facebook. It's everywhere. And you know we're going to be promoting that all over the place. So, without further ado, for my guy, Sam, the EP.
Thank you for tuning in to Double M.
Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe all the content that we're bringing at you.
Double M to the moon.